Hey everyone, and welcome to another Seller Candy webinar. I'm excited to introduce today's guest, Burak Yolga. Hey Burak.
Hi,
Burak,
Kelly. Thanks for having me today.
of course. Burak is the co-founder and CEO of Forceget Supply Chain Logistics, specializing global logistics solutions for e-commerce businesses. He has over 8 years of experience in China and has developed deep expertise in international trade, sourcing, and freight forwarding. Burak is recognized for his insights into optimizing supply chains, understanding landed costs, and diversifying sales channels beyond major platforms like Amazon. Forceget has been a partner of ours for a few years, and they have a great reputation in the space, so it's our pleasure to host Burak today. The topic for today is the Omnichannel engine, building a technical and logistical workflow that scales to 3+ marketplaces. We'll have a Q&A at the end, and the recording will be shared in the coming days. And with that, I'll pass it off to Burak now to get started. Take it from here, Burak.
All right. Thank you, Kelly, for having me. Hi, everyone. Welcome. As Kelly mentioned, I have a lot of experience, actually, almost 16 years with international business. I had a sourcing company, then I had a B2B brand. I sold on Amazon myself, then I exited the businesses. And now I'm running Forceget, global supply chain and fulfillment. We are a direct partner with Amazon.com. We work with Amazon Mexico, Canada, Australia, Europe, and UK, as well as Walmart.com. So today I will be talking about like omni-channel sales, why it's important, and how you can actually make more money using the leverage and have the experience of Amazon Marketplace. Um, I really start talking about this last 2 years since Amazon started increasing the FBA fees slowly, and it is really becoming less and less profitable. You know, new surcharges, AWD is very expensive, and they have a lot of delays. So when we talk about the business is getting expensive with Amazon, it doesn't just mean actually fees wise, but also the length of getting paid, how long it takes Amazon to pay out. Now, you know, there are rumors that Amazon is gonna stop getting the payments with credit card. Um, and there's really a big competition within Amazon space. You're only probably competing with the keywords, and there's always a cheaper and cheaper and cheaper version. If you guys are selling on Amazon in the US, you see that probably your profit margins are shrinking and you're looking for options. So we're going to talk today about the options. One thing, of course, we all like about Amazon from the past, Amazon has a great traffic. However, you don't own the customers. Amazon doesn't like to share their contact information, their phone number, and emails. This means that you cannot retarget them. So you need to every time find a new customer within the Amazon ecosystem. This is what Amazon wants. Then Amazon also wants to reach out to your existing customers with the MCF, multi-channel fulfillment. This is a really big risk in my opinion. Why? Because Amazon will have your customers' contact information if you let Amazon help you to fulfill for Shopify and TikTok. So this is a very, very big risk. This is why we're going to talk about you need to manage your own supply chain, you need to manage your own fulfillment and your own logistics. If you're sourcing product from China, India, Vietnam, anywhere outside of the US, you need to ship the goods to Amazon FBA or AWD. However, today I'm going to talk about getting outside of Amazon ecosystem. Like how can you build your own supply chain? Because if you don't know your profit, if you don't know your landing cost, it's impossible for you to go beyond Amazon because you need to understand how much you can spend on Facebook ads, how much you can spend on the influencer marketing. If you are going to hire an Shopify agency, they're charging between $3,000 to $5,000 to manage your ads, setting up your Klaviyo, maybe for the email marketing, collecting the leads, retargeting them. So this is not hard. Actually, I highly encourage everyone to start doing this today because when the fourth quarter comes, you make a lot of sales, but then Amazon pays you out only maybe the 50% of that. And then the remaining money goes to supplier, freight forwarders, fulfillment centers, or within Amazon space and the EPC. It means that you really need to start acting today. And then if you don't know how to handle the supply chain, you can let Forceget handle for you. And then you can start focusing on increasing your sales outside of Amazon. So why one channel workflows break at scale? As we mentioned, if you're in the Amazon space, you let everything Amazon handle for you, then that is not the smartest way, because then you're only depending on Amazon and they have a lot of delays, they damage products, they lose products. The layer of the four layer of omnichannel engine works the best. According to your product type and category, you can choose one marketplace next after the Amazon, and then you go to the third one and fourth one and start managing your inventory across the channels. And if you have a better quantity, like bigger quantity, this way you can actually use the supplier's power to get better payment terms. Then you need to obviously include your technology, and then how to run without adding headcounts. That's where the AI kind of plays in now. Everybody talks about AI, but not really many companies are using AI. In our experience, when you do one channel and then one workflow, that sounds like it's convenient, but the convenient business does not run forever. A challenging business in the beginning will help you to run the business in the long term. So if you guys are running only on Amazon and if you don't know how to expand, I think that you need two things. Number one, a good supply chain company. Number two, a good partnership or agency who can help you with the setting up the correct things. Sometimes it's Walmart, sometimes it's TikTok. And then if you've been working with Amazon, I'm sure you see that Amazon is keep pushing you to use their own services, just AGL or AWD. They ask you to borrow money from Amazon. So you need to be understanding it's not for your own favor, but that's for Amazon's favor, because Amazon is not always looking to get your uh, physical business, but they're also after your data. This is actually like the bigger risk, in my opinion. And we saw the results within Amazon reimbursement ecosystem when they come up with this idea, hey, we're not going to pay you your selling price, we're going to only pay you your sourcing price, your factory price. And how did they know about that? They start setting up Amazon Global Logistics. With Amazon Global Logistics, they have the access to your supplier. So they start making Amazon brand products, as well as knowing your landing cost, your buying cost. This was like a serious issue. So where you should expand first, depending on the category, if you're in the B2 space or supplements, I think TikTok is a great place to go viral. And you don't always have to go viral to become successful in a business. I think this is a long-term business. Shopify, if you're selling apparel, if you're selling like sports equipment, if you're selling high tickets items, Shopify is great. Walmart, it is the largest fulfillment location in the world. I think they have in the US alone, they have close to 18,000 fulfillment centers and the retail stores too. So once you start on Walmart.com, you can also go to Walmart retail, Walmart shelves. It means that you get like a big purchase order in one time. So when you actually set up the secondary and third online marketplace business, then the next step for you to expand to B2B retails. This is obviously a different game. If you're new, I'm not expect you to like go to retails directly, but if you have a successful business uh, mindset, if you have successful um, positioning, then the retails find you, they reach out, and then they give you a big purchase orders. Sometimes 2,000 units, 3,000 units. You don't need to store them directly in your warehouse or Amazon, AWD, FBA. You can ship from China direct to the retails, or you can do cross dock in any fulfillment centers in the US. So basically, what I recommend is to choose the second and third most suitable marketplace. You can start going to the industrial events, and then we have a couple of customers, they did that, scale it. They sell home saunas, they sell dog products. They start with Amazon and Shopify, and then they start going and showing their product in the retail business, uh, trade shows, and then retail start getting the orders, and they actually start building 10 to $15 million annual revenue. So that's like step by step. What do you need to be careful about? Number one, your inventory layers, like one pool, many channels. So what is challenging here, sometimes different marketplaces, they have different SKUs, different UPC, different barcoding. But if you work with a correct 3PL, Forceget has Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Paris, California location. So we receive the product in our warehouse, we kind of segregate it according to the marketplace, and then we can relabel it. So you can use the same barcode for all channels when it comes to manufacturing. In the future, when you have the correct demand, you can create different SKU for different marketplaces, and you can manufacture them in China or other places with the correct SKU. Then you have the order layer. You can actually track your history, where you can understand the seasonality, periodic. Oops, sorry. So we have some fire alarm going on in the building. Sorry about that. So it's important for you to understand your SKU, and it's important to understand your fulfillment layers and data layers. So when you sell, and which color is sold in which state better. So you can actually start saving really money instead of sending everything bulk to Amazon. This doesn't work anymore. 3 years ago, you could buy a product from Alibaba, put your own label, and ship it to Amazon, and you sell it. Now, whoever set up their own fulfillment whoever has their own fulfillment management, they're gonna win. The marketplaces plug in. So this is something I was talking about. When you have connections with your 3PL, with your supplier, your freight forwarder, with Amazon, Walmart, Shopify, TikTok, we have more than 20 marketplaces that we are connected with. It is very important to understand your inventory level selling across the sales channels. Sometimes Amazon Marketplace, so one SKU sometimes performs better on Shopify, and another SKU performs better on Amazon. So you need to understand, download the reports. I think this is where the AI is going to work the best. You can download different business reports from different channels. You put them in AI and ask it to build a custom-made solution, custom-made reporting, understanding your sections, your clicks. Maybe you receive a lot of traffic to your listing, but it doesn't convert. Then what's your problem? Is it the main image? Is it the bullet points? Is it the price? Is it the coupon? Is it the bad reviews? Can you remove them? Can you set up maybe the bundles? There's so many things you can actually miss manually, but the AI can help you. Same as we in Forceget, we're using AI demand forecasting and planning. So it's really important for you to understand all these things. So this is something interesting, because when you actually have a different delivery challenges for your own Shopify marketplace, then it is really interesting because Amazon buyers, Amazon customers, they're expecting prime delivery most of the time. Is that if you're going, you need to have multiple fulfillment centers across the country. This is why, like, you need to generally give them a fast delivery. The customer will be happy and satisfied. They will come and repeat buy, and they talk about your brand. That's the best marketing way. So the faster and cheaper you deliver for you, faster delivery is better for your customer. Cheaper delivery is better for you. So you can actually make it both. This is why every seller should design their own fulfillment around the promise shown on the listing. If you're sourcing product from overseas, I recommend to have at least East Coast and West Coast location. So you ship the goods, because when you're creating Amazon FB shipment, it's going to ask you to whether do placement fee or non-placement fee to deliver the goods across the country. I always tell people not to choose placement fee, so you don't pay any money on that. Then yes, you're going to spend money on the truck. But what is important here is Amazon checks in your products faster. So you really need to understand this. WFS works a little bit better. So downloading your shipment history across Amazon channels to show you how many different shipments you sent to Amazon, what's the average checking time, where Amazon keeps it. So Forceget, we built a new software. It's called Stock Plus. It's Amazon Inventory Analytics, where you can see your checking times and Amazon fulfillment speed. So this is super important. You need to unify, you need to put your inventory in one pool and distribute between the Amazon, Walmart, Shopify, TikTok. Even Amazon SFP, Seller Fulfilled Prime, or FBM works in the fourth quarter because it's very expensive. Amazon Amazon storage fees are going higher in the fourth quarter. If you have stranded inventory, make sure that you kind of clear that in advance. And having all this inventory decision under one platform, like all the WMS, SKU level analytics, how much you actually lose in the reimbursement, putting all the listings and transferring between the channels are very important. And more importantly, how much is your landing cost? How much is your profit? If you guys don't know your profit, do not expand to different marketplace. It can be end of the game. But if you stay in one marketplace, that will be also end of the game. It's not optional anymore. I will tell you either go home or go omnichannel. So it's one or the other one. TikTok demand comes in waves. A lot of people they're talking about like how to find the creators, how to manage the shipping out the products, make sure that they collect the correct content to post it. So this is not an easy job. I highly recommend if you're a new seller, create some budget and reach out to the good agencies who can help you with that. When you have both Shopify and TikTok option, you have two warehouses, you ship faster and cheaper to your customers, they're gonna be happy. You need to add like additional income compared to Amazon FBA. So before a few years ago, you could actually do manual calculations, single warehouse, blind decisions, and not separating your operation channel. Like just put everything on the Amazon space and Amazon let do everything. It just doesn't work out that way. If you go to Shopify, if you go to Walmart, if you go to TikTok, you need to have your own fulfillment setup. So creating these channels, creating these income streamlines, it is super important for you to be outside of Amazon space also. We talk about 80 to 20 rule, even like 70 to 30. If you can perform within a year, taking 20-30% of your Amazon revenue to other marketplaces, you're going to see your average profit margins increase 10 to 15%. That's how much Amazon is charging. So start with an audit, integrate and optimize. Don't be afraid to do omnichannel because it's not that hard. So if you come to Forceget, share your Amazon FBA fees, your AWD fees. We actually do a free audit for you guys. And more importantly, help you to make decision. I personally like to be on the calls with our customers where we can help them like with serious decision-making process. And then if you feel you need like support in certain decision making, such as where to put the inventory, like how long it takes to ship it to Amazon or Shopify versus Walmart, how these fulfillment centers are working. Because when you work with 3 to 4 different marketplaces, there's no centralized solution. Forceget is helping brands to do centralized solutions. So that's everything from my side, guys. I know it's a big decision to decide whether you should go omni-channel or not. The answer is absolutely yes, because last 2 years, 3 years, we have seen so many brands, unfortunately, they went out of business because of high Amazon FBA fees. All the competition mainly coming from Asia, just competing on the pricing. So stop competing with keywords, start competing with your brand name. Everything you build outside of Amazon as a brand, social media channels, YouTube, TikTok, whatever the product you're selling, that's going to have a brand name search increase on Amazon. And 40 to 45% of people, if they search your name, branded product has 50% more intention to check out directly. So people find you outside of Amazon, they come search for you, then they check out. This is the correct strategy. Otherwise, competing for the keyword cocktail shaker set, it's just going to Amazon's favor. It's going to keep increasing their bid for that particular keyword, and they don't really care what seller sells it as long as someone buys it.
Well put. Thank you, Burak. And
Yeah,
totally
no
agree on the
problem.
omni-channel side. We've also brought in some experts for Walmart and Shopify and are rolling out those services too. So yeah, definitely a big need
Yeah.
and a lot more demand. So awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's the truth, honestly, right now. Like, I think less and less people entering Amazon, and then the companies who are making like $10 million, they're getting bigger pie. Amazon space is not getting smaller, but the number of sellers are like decreasing, but the bigger sellers are getting bigger because they understand, they have internal controllers, they have audits, they have finance, they have line of credit. So it's not a side hustle anymore. This is like a serious business, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep, definitely agree. Yeah, thank you for that, Brock. We'll open it up for questions now. If anyone has to feel free to drop that in the chat. I can kick it off here. I've got a question around everyone's favorite buzzword, AI. So you mentioned, Brock, that using AI to help with reporting and analytics. Are there any other areas you're seeing AI advancements helping in the logistics side of things? Maybe it's
Yeah.
warehouse automations or something else. Anything that
Yeah.
people should look forward to?
Definitely, I think one thing, if I'm an Amazon seller, I would download my business reports, my shipment reports, put everything in the cloud and ask, like, play around with it to understand what is my average FBA checking time, because that really impacts your cash flow. I know that if you deliver to one location in California, Amazon needs to distribute to 40, 45 distribution centers across the country. It can take up to 4 to 6 weeks. It means that your product checks into Amazon, but you don't have a sellable inventory. It's not eligible yet for Amazon to fulfill it. A lot of sellers, they make the mistake saying, "Oh, my Amazon FBA inventory checked in." Yes, checked in, but it's not fully checked in. So you need to understand what's the average check-in, so you can actually start creating better demand planning. You need to understand the seasonalities. There are a lot of challenges, with the strikes, with the war now, uh, different geopolitical issues. So using AI with the reports for the inventory, calculating the landing cost, yes, from the logistic perspective, carriers are start implementing things, the warehouses, but I don't really know 100% automated robotic warehouse in the US yet, or it's less than 1%. So everything we're talking in the AI world is actually taking longer time to implement in the real world in the operations. But at least start reading your reports and kind of make a better decision around that. I think that's the first thing sellers need to do.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate that. Any questions from any of the attendees? I'll just do one more, and if anyone has one, you can drop it in the chat. We'll do the last
Of course.
call. Just back to, you mentioned some trends there, war, strikes, all of that. What are you seeing currently in terms of trends in global logistics? Whether it's shipping times, costs, any upcoming
Oh,
problems or risks?
cost, cost increase like 40% from May to June. So it means like tighter margins for a lot of sellers. Transit times increased too, but the shipping price, like from 1st of June, it will go from $3,500 for the high cube container from China to LA to $5,200, and plus a lot of delay. So it is increasing. So you kind of need to have a better relation with your supplier. I was in China last month, and a lot of suppliers, they complain about the material cost increase. Uh, they have to pay their suppliers in China kind of cash. Uh, so it's harder and harder to get better price and more favorable payment term from your suppliers. And I'll tell you something very interesting. You have to really protect yourself, because the last couple of years I've seen a lot. If you are selling a good quantity on Amazon and then you don't have a good agreement with your supplier, they're like, "Oh, why do I need to make 20% with the wholesaler? I can go and sell it myself on Amazon." They go launch, copying their customers, and then they kill the margins, and then they can't do it because they don't understand the branding, and they kind of screw up everybody's business. So you have to be careful understanding building a good relationship. I think it is an interesting time to do business, in my opinion. If you really start thinking about with multiple aspects, you can be really you can be really successful. That's why part of the presentation, I was like, oh, just it's not anymore the game you buy a source product from Amazon, sorry, from Alibaba, you put your brand, you sell on Amazon. It doesn't work like that. That was 5 years ago. So now you have to have a full supply chain pipeline setting up with an alternatives countries. Last year, a lot of companies they had a big problem with the tariff. So we can talk about that forever, but I think before you go and expand a new marketplace, new country, look at your numbers, where you can increase your saving, use those savings to go to omnichannel, you know?
Yeah, totally agree there. Appreciate that, Burak. And yeah, definitely makes sense to take it in bite sizes. So, figure out the logistics, have conversations,
Yeah,
book the call with yourself and go through it step by step. I know it's a lot to take on for
yeah,
people, but there are experts out there and always willing to have
correct.
that conversation. Awesome.
Yes. Thank you, Kelly, for having me.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone. We appreciate it. Thank you again, Burak. And we'll look forward to the next webinar. We'll do another one in a few months, hopefully.